In this video, I'm going to attempt the endurance workouts of 3 of the best climbers in the world. Specifically, I'm going to test the workouts of Ondra, Dave Macleod, and Stefano Ghisofli. All 3 of these climbers are known for having legendary endurance, and thankfully for me, have posted some of their power endurance and endurance workouts on the internet. I'm going to give you an overview of what these workouts entail so you can try them yourself, and then I'll give my feedback on what I think of the workouts at the end of the video. So with that, let's get into the workouts.
Okay, so in the climbing gym today, and I'm doing Stefano's workout, which is doubles. So I'm going to be climbing 2 routes in a row with breaks in between, and I'm aiming for 4 sets. I'll take about a 15-minute break between sets, and the goal is to get, super pumped. He would do this training for endurance a couple times a week, and I've never really done something like this before. Let's go climb. I think, like the other workouts, one of the harder parts is choosing the right route difficulty. I don't know if I'm picking routes that are gonna mess me up for the 4th set. Like, I want it to be consistent, but I don't want to burn out too fast. So, I mean, we'll see. All right, starting the 2nd set. One thing that I'm noticing is that with these pro routines, they just take way longer breaks than I usually do. Like if I'm here sport climbing, it's usually I'll climb a route, partner climbs a route, I'll climb a route, partner climbs a route until I'm just like totally gassed. And this is a way longer break than I'm used to, which I feel like is always a good thing, but maybe you just don't have the time for that, which is the hard part. It's like they're professionals, they can do this. Anyway, on to the 2nd set.
So after doing the 1st set, I definitely thought I chose routes that were too easy. So I wanted to kick up the difficulty a notch in the 2nd set. So I chose 2 routes in the middle of the tallest part of the wall at my local gym. These were routes that would definitely pump me out and kind of intimidate me on any other day that I would be heading to the climbing gym.
So super pumped now, but that's the point. I feel like because I'm doing doubles and because I'm pumped, I felt like I was doing a good job of like scanning the route ahead to see what the good holds were, so I could just try to climb as efficiently as possible, which is probably something I don't practice that often, but I feel like being this pumped necessitates, like, I don't want to fall, so I'm trying to just make it be efficient and climb smoothly and well and like look for the good holds and move quickly between the bad holds, you know. 2 done, 2 to go.
For the next routes, I decided to up the intensity again, seeing as I hadn't fallen yet. I went for an 11 plus that was quite a bit trickier than the other ones. I found myself needing to use more advanced techniques like drop knees so that I could try to climb as efficiently as possible and save my energy. But as you can see, I ended up just pumping out. I couldn't figure out the foot data and I had to take a fall. And the crazy part about this workout is, even though I fell, I had to get right back on the wall and try a whole new route. I did this 10 plus that was right next to it, and the holds were easier than the 11 plus, but I was still just pumping out, and it's like I started this route feeling pumped out of my mind. Usually I feel like there's kind of this grace period where you're climbing up a route and you have some moves before you start feeling pumped. But with this one, I was pumped from the very bottom. Thankfully, there was this jug in the middle and I was able to shake out for a while on this hold. Otherwise, I don't think I would have gotten to the top without falling. All that was left after doing the first 6 climbs was 2 more to go. And I ended up falling on both of them because I was just so pumped.
Okay, Stefano, done. I feel like it was a humbling level of pumped. Like, I haven't been that pumped in a really long time, but at the end of the day, it's a really good workout. And I feel like I want to do that in the future because I come here and sport climb a lot, but rarely do I stick to a script like that and do a specific workout routine. I think the one key thing that this workout does is it like really forces you into that position where you're on lead and you are pumped out of your mind, but you have to keep climbing because there's another route after this one. And like, that's the type of moment when I'm lead climbing outside that I want to get better at and be stronger at. And I feel like this is like great training for that. So a good day. Okay, this next method of training endurance is Dave Macleod's, and it's arguably the one that I am most nervous for. I watched a video, he was training for his E11 project Rhapsody, which was a very famous route, and he did this training routine, which is pretty simple, but pretty dang brutal. He'd go to a traverse or a local area that has easy holds, and a lot of them, and he would climb for 40 minutes straight at a very low intensity. He would do this 3 times in a single session. So it'd be 40 minutes on, and then he would take about a 20-minute break, another 40 minutes, 20-minute break, 40 minutes. So it's about a 3-hour climbing workout. And then the craziest thing about this is that he would do it 5 times a week. That's insane. It's just like, it puts it into perspective how much more training and dedication these pros do, but I'm gonna give his technique a try and we'll see how it goes.
Now, I only did one of these sessions, but I think it gives a good glimpse into what this routine can look like. One of the harder parts with this was finding a suitable area to actually perform 40 minutes straight of traversing and climbing in a safe way. A lot of that time was just spent hanging from one arm, shaking out, resting up before moving on, kind of like Dave did in his video.
So I'm starting the second set right now, and so far it's actually going a lot better than I expected. And I think that has to do with what Dave was talking about in his video about really trying to keep it low intensity. I think so often I go to a climbing gym or I climb outdoors and I focus on performance and climbing hard routes. And that's kind of my measure of a successful day. And I oftentimes will not go out and climb just for the sake of low intensity endurance, which this session is all about. He tried to emphasize to not do movements that are physically exerting. I mean, after he would do his sets, he said that he could climb 8A, 8B at a very high level still, which I think shows how low intensity this workout actually is. Really, the main thing here is just spending time on rock, which is pretty cool.
And I have to say, my reaction to doing this workout was that I loved how low intensity it was, and it felt like it was pretty healthy and safe for my fingers. And to be frank, by the end of the workout, I had a hard time grasping if it really did anything. And I think that points towards Dave's point of making this routine more about consistency than just that individual session. It was all about doing this 5 times a week for him. And last, Ondra.
Honestly, I'm quite tired. It's my 3rd session of the day, but let's go for it. Motivation is the key.
Especially for the beginners, I recommend to do it with no weight.
Unlike the other 2 workouts, Ondra's was definitely the most focused around power, and I did not feel as pumped. I felt it in my fingers compared to the other 2 workouts. Adam's workout is a 4x4x4. 4x4s are common bouldering circuit workouts where you will choose 4 boulders and you do those boulders 4 times in 4 sets. And so how that plays out is you'll pick 4 boulders that are fairly moderate and within your abilities, and you try to pick 4 that by the last set, you're struggling to make the moves and falling off. If you're falling off in the first or the second set, you picked routes that are way too hard. If you're not falling off at all in the workout, you're picking boulders that are too easy. So this is all about flirting that line of what your limit is and trying really stinking hard. I've done 4x4s in the past, and Adam's workout takes this a step further by doing another 4 on top of it. So it's a 4x4x4. And what that looks like is you will do 4 routes, and you'll climb the first route, you'll climb the second route, you'll climb the third route, you'll climb the 4th route. You'll take a 1-minute break, and then you'll do that again, 2, 3, 4. You'll do that again, 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll do that again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you'll take a proper 5 to 10 minute break before doing that whole package another 3 times, totaling 4 sets of the 4x4. This workout ended up taking around an hour and 15 minutes of straight climbing, which is a lot of time to be pulling hard. And so I'd say this routine is for more intermediate or advanced climbers just because of the degree of difficulty involved. Now, Adam mentioned in his routine that if it's too intense to lop off the amount of routes that you're doing to 3, but still do the same amount of sets. And that's exactly what I did. After doing the first 4x4, I was like, okay, this is not gonna happen. I'm gonna explode. And so I did a 3x4x4 for the rest of the workout. I think one of the harder things with Adam's workout was actually creating the boulders. It was also pretty fun to do this. I did it on a spray wall, but I think one of the more difficult things is because I don't do this a lot, is that I made boulders, like the fourth boulder was probably too hard for me. And it was hard to kind of set a boulder that was within my abilities. Also, the first set, it felt like I was trying to remember what the moves were and what the holds were, but by the end of the workout, I had the boulders dialed because I had done them so many times.
Okay, I'm halfway done, and this workout is humbling. It is so hard. I've had to go from 4 routes per set to 3. My fingers are just getting torn to shreds. I'm taping them up so that flappers don't happen, but I'm only halfway done, and like, yeah, it's insane to think of the strength that Ondra has doing this sort of workout multiple times in a day. Like, what? It's crazy. It's so tiring. Oh man. All right, back to it.
I think the one thing that I really liked about Adam's workout was that it was all about sustaining a high level of power. It's all about not taking a lot of breaks. There's no jugs to shake out. There's no real pauses. It's just kind of try really hard for a really long period of time, which if you're climbing a sustained sport route, indoors or outdoors, that's what it's all about. Adam's known for sending some of the hardest routes in the world, actually. And so it comes as no surprise that this is what his training looks like. He's pulling so hard and he's doing it over and over again, just punishing his fingers and getting stronger. He even did it with added weight. He was doing it with a weight vest, which is bonkers. I mean, the man is insanely strong. So after doing Adam's workout, I think I really enjoyed it, but you kind of need fresh fingers going into it because your fingers are going to be just totally toasted by the end of it. I think in hindsight, I would probably take longer breaks between the big sets, between the 4x4 sets. Sorry, it's a little bit confusing, but I'd take longer breaks there to give my fingers a better chance to recover. So let me know what you thought of the endurance workouts in this video. Let me know which one you think is your favorite or which one you want to try out the most. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up, maybe even subscribe, and I will see you next time.